Look at you.
Woo! We got folks rolling in. We got storytellers. The queen is here. We're going to give it like 5 or 6 minutes to let folks in and good to see some of you. It's been a minute. I meant it's good to see all of you, Mary. I heard that laugh. Well, sure. Some more than others. Fine. No. It's good to see people, man.
This is the honest room.
This is the honest 99.
Yeah.
I will go over how this works for those of you who don't know. And a reminder for those of you who do in just a moment. It's pretty straightforward. But do know everybody in the audience, in fact, everyone not named Mary or Sean, or at least that Queen Mary and Bald Sean, will be voting 3 times this evening, which is fun.
Yeah. Lots of judging.
If you're a judgmental kind of person, it's a very good fit for you.
Very good.
Yeah. Even if you're not, you should still vote. We want voting. Voting's always good.
Voting's excellent. Really.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mary, you're letting people in. Thank you for being here. The first few minutes are always, we're going, by the way, a few other announcements. We are Facebook Living, which means if you don't want your lovely face to be on Facebook Live, then there's an option, as you probably know, top right corner, 3 little dots. There's several things you can do, like turning your camera off or your video off, whatever it's called. I think it says stop video.
Stop video, yeah.
I'm going to ask that everyone stay on mute. And if you are joining us on Facebook Live Land, welcome. You can watch and hear everything. You won't be able to vote. So next time, come to the actual event and you'll be able to vote. We have 10 storytellers here this evening.
So exciting.
Do we have any first timers? We won't say your name, Mary. We're not going to say anyone's name, but do we have any first timers? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I am in North Carolina. My name is Sean, and my co-host this evening, I'll let her introduce herself. Queen
Mary. I'm in Massachusetts. Hello, everyone.
And we've got storytellers. How many continents do we have here? 2, 3? We've got continents. No, North America's no. I meant countries. We have the US. We've got Canada. Mary, while we are waiting, and I will go over the directions in just a moment, would you please be kind enough to ask everyone in this audience one question that they can then put in the chat, but do it a little differently. I don't care where they're from tonight. Let's go something different.
Something different.
Yeah. Where are you or where are you located is a little old.
It's a little old.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put a question in the chat. What is everybody looking forward to this summer?
This summer? Oh, okay.
Some
what are you
people
looking forward to this summer?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. We're not that close to summer, but I like it.
Close enough.
You can dream. You can look forward to things.
My favorite time of year.
What are you looking forward to this summer? Do we kick people out if they don't answer?
No.
Oh, this is optional.
See, look, people are.
No, I mean, everyone's always very kind with these things.
They are family reunions. Look, people have things that are happening,
I'm just projecting. I don't have much going on.
You're not, everybody's not sitting at home with a blurred background in the kitchen.
Hey, hey now.
Listen, I'm sitting with a blurred background in my bedroom. So, I'm not much better.
Hot kettle black type thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. I'm looking forward to Revere Beach. I like going to Revere Beach. And I have a very cool car now to go down to Revere Beach. Spain. Oh, that's fabulous, Walt. Biking, State Fair. Oh my God.
All right. They're
birthday.
Coming in.
I know. God, you guys are doing some great stuff over the summer. See? Tanglewood. Yeah, fabulous. Not wearing socks, Joanne. I get that too. Getting ready to get out of my boots.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm first going to pick 5 names so that they can prep. And then I'm going to go over the directions, the guidelines, or the rules, or whatever you want to call them, just to give the tellers as much time. That does mean if you're in the second part of round 1, and I'll explain that in a moment, you won't have as much lead time, but it doesn't matter because you're really only competing against that particular section. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 10 names that have been written out in a hat. And this hat, if you're wondering, is not from Nicaragua. And it is not from Cambodia. It is not from any other country not named Peru. Bet you're wondering what's the story there. I'm just the host tonight. And Tracey has no interest in the story. Tracey, I'm rooting for you to go first. The first storyteller will be Francesca. Second story will be Mark. Third will be Sharon. This is the order. We've got 5 in section 1 and 5 in section 2. Tracey, and the final storyteller of section 1 will be Barbara. Again, that is Francesca, who I know is thrilled to go first. I can see it on her face. Mark, Sharon. Now you're only going against 4 other people here, so it's not quite the same as you might be, typical stuff. Tracey and Barbara. What's going to happen in a couple of minutes is Francesca is going to tell a story. The story should be a true story, a personal story. You know the jam. The story should be in 99 seconds or under. It should also be told without notes. Why does all this matter? Because after all 5 storytellers go, you will have an opportunity to vote. And in this slam, we're doing your favorite 2 stories. I'll remind you again, you probably don't need to write stuff down. Just pick your favorite 2 stories. If you have a little system, you can use it. I'm not going to tell you what to do or what your system should be. Just your favorite 2 stories. The only thing I will say, though, is they're clearly reading from notes. Let's reward the people who are playing by the rules. Seems reasonable. And if it's clearly not a personal story, even if it's a lovely poem, it's not what we're here for, even though poetry's awesome. So let's reward the people who are telling personal stories. The only objective thing that will eliminate them, that's a strong word, isn't it, Mary? Disqualify?
Disqualify. Disqualify.
Disqualify?
Yeah.
DQ would be if they go over time.
So
They know the drill. They've hopefully been practicing a little bit or just have a good sense. Now, for our audience, just so you know, when I do this, it is not for you. It is a more or less 20-second warning for the storyteller. If you've been on these slams before, none of this is new. Queen Mary. So what we'll do is we will have round 1 with 5 tellers in section 1. Then you will vote. We will have 5 more storytellers in section 2. We will take a little break. The top 2 from each of those sections will go through, and 1 wild card will go through. So 5 of our 10 storytellers will go to the second round. We'll do it all again, and you'll vote one last time. We will have a champion. And I think that's it. Mary, I'm always thinking I left at least one thing out. Tell me what it is.
I don't feel like you left anything out tonight.
Do
we have somebody who's kicking us off?
We do. What do you mean? Oh, we don't have a sacrificial teller tonight.
No. Okay.
We don't have anything at the end. This is just a straight slam.
Wow. Well, look at you being all following the rules.
I'm not playing tonight. And just so you all know, this is actually our 7th season.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what a season is, it doesn't mean anything. I just arbitrarily decided to make seasons.
Yeah.
But sounds better. This is the 3rd slam. At the end of the season, later this year, we'll have a grand slam. So like our first 2 this season, the top 3 finishers will go to the grand slam, but there will only be 1 winner. Now, in some circles, especially like in the 80s, you could call all the other people losers. However, it's 2023. Things have changed, so we don't want to use that word.
No.
I'm not a big fan of non-winners, but what do we say? Thanks for trying.
Thanks for trying.
Thanks for participating. Yeah. We really appreciate it.
Right.
Come back. That is all for now. Let me
yes.
Let me ensure that everybody, you have an opportunity to hang out afterwards if you want to.
Please.
But if your name isn't Mary or Sean or particular teller in that moment, please keep yourself muted. It'll make things go a little smoother. And as promised, Mary, it is 8:10. And I know sometimes people are thinking, will this handsome bald man ever stop talking? And the answer is yes, right now. Let me spotlight our first storyteller. There's no big introduction here. Her name is Francesca. Francesca, when you're ready, would you please unmute? And when you're ready, break a leg.
Hello. I don't know why it needed to remind me. Okay. I'm in New York City participating in a rigorous physical training for the actor. I am having a rough morning, stumbling, tripping. My little flashes from my past keep popping up. My husband, Pep, at his crossword, Pep waving goodbye. Pep had died 5 years earlier. I thought I had turned a corner on grief, but now it is pouncing on me. I leave training and escalate from I am a terrible actor to a terrible person. I walk block after block, trying to unfurl the spiral of awful. But instead of calming me down, walking is stirring me up. I thought I had found that place that a friend of mine calls the space between, where nothing is great, not really, but nothing is horrible. And now I am slipping from the okay to something else. I start to wonder, what if I step out in front of the traffic? What if I don't stop for the oncoming bus? How much longer must I bear the weight of grief? My cell phone buzzes. It is my son, Ryland, just enough to pull me back to the okay, to some place in between. The next morning, I'm at training when a vision pops. Oh, please, not another wave. The vision flashes. It's a little girl, her eyes sparkling. She's holding a book. Read to me. Her presence reminds our lives are never about us, but about the people around us. A few years later, I am reminded of this when my granddaughter hands me a book, her eyes sparkling. Read to me, Mimi. Boom.
Thank you, Francesca. We think she's in Chicago, but no one ever really knows with her. She's really just travels a lot, family all over, friends everywhere, booming here and there. Thank you for leading us off.
Mhm.
And boy, oh boy, if you can stick around, do I want to talk to you a little bit about the space between. Indeed. Mary, I always appreciate the first person.
Yes.
Always appreciate the person who goes first, even though it wasn't really like they volunteered to do it.
No, but
That's
still.
fair. I mean, let's be honest. If we asked for volunteers to go first, do you think anyone would raise their hand? I don't know. Yeah.
See,
Oh,
some people.
the non-tellers would raise their hand. Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
well,
Tracy is, yes.
Tracy is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tracy, well, no, it doesn't work that way this time, though, Tracy. You actually do have to just wait your turn. By the way, did I thank everyone for being here?
You might have, but do it again.
Thank you for being here.
Can't
I
do
mean, the
it.
storytellers, the audience, wherever you are. And I would like to hear at some point beyond what you're doing this summer, more about you, but that will be after we're done. And by the way, the whole event doesn't take that long. I know you're probably doing a bunch of cool stuff tonight, but I appreciate, and I can speak for my co-host, Queen Mary. There's a lot of ways people could be spending their time right now.
It's true, but you
And they're
chose
doing it with
to
us.
spend it
So
here.
thank you very much for that. Mark is up next. He is in the greater Boston area. I'm going to spotlight him. And when he is ready, he is going to break a leg.
Have you ever thought of something so brilliant you wonder how humanity survived before? I decided I was going to propose to Jen, and that was a little scary. I mean, trusting a guy to pick jewelry. And you go into this, you want it to last. Do you want the tagline of your marriage to be, "Look at this ugly rock, he's lucky I married him"? Anyone who approaches this without trepidation is a fool. I thought about this long and hard, and then the moment of brilliance struck. I went to Toys R Us, the Barbie aisle. I found the biggest, most sophisticated plastic ring they had. It was sparkly. I carried that thing around in my pocket for 4 days, waiting for a moment of peace and quiet between us. And then I pulled it out and I said, "Jen, will you marry me?" Now, this is the important part. In that moment of stunned silence, I said, look, I want this to last a lifetime. And I want you to have a ring you want to look at that long. You can exchange this for any ring you want. And that's how I saved civilization. Boom.
Thank you, Mark. All right, Francesca, and then Mark, Mary. You never know what's going to happen with these stories. You never know where they're going to go, how they're going to end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're brilliant. All
You
these
got to
stories are
always
brilliant.
appreciate a little surprise. We always know that's a good thing in story stuff and in life.
And in life.
Because we can all agree, I'm sure life can sometimes get a little boring. Am I the only one? Maybe I'm standing on my own island there. For everyone, it's very chaotic and busy and exciting.
It works, Sean. It works. It's
Mhm.
fine.
Got a new mic, Mary?
Well, no, this is my old mic. This is
Pretty
my.
cool.
Thank you.
Okay. And also, by the way, tellers and others, you should check out the chat because there's a lot of comments coming in. And I imagine most of them are pretty kind.
Yeah. Everybody here is very kind.
Uh, mm,
They're good to me. I don't know. Maybe you've had different
you know, it's a funny word. I think most of them are mostly kind most of the time. Let's leave it at that. That's my take on it.
Listen, don't talk about my driving. No.
Angela, we're not quite doing questions right now, but you can put it in the chat. Unless you're making it clear to everyone that you're kind, I believe you. We have no doubt you are kind. Until she proves otherwise. Is that fair?
I think that works.
Next up, neighbor of mine, not too far away in North Carolina. We're going to spotlight her, and then she's going to unmute herself. And when she's ready, she's going to tell us a story. Sharon Eisner.
So I grew up extremely Jewy. I mean, you don't get any more Jewy. My father is a Holocaust survivor. My parents became born again Jews, and we got all religious and lived in a ghetto, the ghetto of Brooklyn. And so I dated Jewish guys, as I was expected to do. But when I got into my 30s and I wasn't religious and I was my own person, I decided, you know, this isn't really working for me. This is not my number one priority. I want a guy who's kind. I want a guy who's intelligent. Jewish, not my number one priority. I am going to date non-Jews because you know what? Not every non-Jew is a Nazi. So that's my intention. And I get a job. I'm working in a house with special kids. And one of the other leaders in the house is this guy named Brian Hummel. Definitely not a Jew. And he was so cute and so funny. And after a week of working together, he asked me out to dinner. And I'm like, yes, because I don't only date Jews. And I go out to dinner with him and we're having a great time. We're talking, we're laughing. And then he asks me, what's your ancestry? And I tell him my father's a Holocaust survivor. He gets really quiet, which is a weird response. Most people ask questions. So I ask him back, what's your ancestry? And he says, really different than yours. Well, it turns out Brian Hummel was the great nephew of Heinrich Himmler. And his grandfather changed his last name to Hummel because he didn't want to be associated with Himmler. So while it's true that not all non-Jews are Nazis, it is also true that some are related to Nazis. Boom.
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon, and my bad, Sharon. I didn't put up your 80 seconds. That's on me. But just so you know, you were under time. I wouldn't normally tell that until the end, but I feel bad because I missed you. I hope that didn't affect your storytelling.
No, we were good.
It might have. I can tell by the response that she's pissed. That was an accident. Just know that. Thank you, Sharon. All right, cool. So what do we have? We had 3 stories so far. They're all great stories.
Yeah.
We had someone in Illinois, we think. She'll tell us later.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, Illinois, North Carolina. You're in Massachusetts too, so I'm in North Carolina. Interesting. I see a pattern developing here. However, our next storyteller is not in any of those states.
No.
She is in the same borough, for what it's worth, and it ain't much. I promise you that. The same borough in which this guy was born. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that. Do they have a plaque like for you or
Where?
in where you were born?
No.
It's a historical event.
What do you think, Mary? Next up, please welcome to the 99 Slam stage, Ms. Tracey Starin in Queens.
I'm standing in my completely empty living room and it's almost time to leave, but I'm not ready to go because I haven't seen my grandmother's wedding band in almost 4 years. That day when I went to get it out of the drawer in the living room where I keep it so carefully, it wasn't there. And so I took the drawer apart and I didn't find it. And so I took another drawer apart and I still didn't find it. But I knew that I hadn't left the house with it so that it would turn up eventually. And over the past 4 years, I've looked in every drawer and every closet and every cabinet and on every shelf. And it hasn't turned up. And then the landlord told us he was selling the house and we had to move. So now there's a clock on it. And as I packed all of our belongings, I looked in every trinket box and every jewelry box, at the bottom of every vase and in the pocket of every piece of clothing. and I haven't found it. And I can't imagine moving to another house without this piece of my family's history in my hands. But now everything is gone. And my husband swore that when they moved the dresser that I usually keep it in, it would have slipped under there. But when they did, it wasn't there. And now the only things left in the house are some things in the medicine cabinet and the trash that's left under the bed. The house is empty and I failed. So my husband goes into the bedroom to clean up under the bed, and I go into the bathroom to empty out the medicine cabinet. And a minute later, my husband comes to the door holding a gold band in his hand, and he says, "Is this what you're looking for?" I slipped it on my finger. It was under the bed in a room that I never kept it in. Now I'm ready to move on. Boom.
Thank you, Tracy. You know what, Mary? I say this with some embarrassment. I'll be honest with you. I try to be honest with you.
Being vulnerable. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, not vulnerable, honest. It's not quite the same.
Honest. All right.
You know, I tend to be envious of people.
Okay.
I don't like it about myself. I thought at one point I would grow out of it. It hasn't happened.
Hasn't happened.
I'm not envious of.
Yeah.
Wait for this amazing little transition I'm about to make.
Okay.
Anyone here who has to vote. That's going to be a tough vote.
It's going to be a very tough.
There is some serious talent in the room.
I know. It's pretty amazing.
What do you think of that little segue I just made?
It was tremendous.
You don't have to be.
Tremendous.
Just be honest. Be vulnerable.
I'll be honest. And I'm being vulnerable. It was tremendous.
Okay.
You want me to be vulnerable?
Always.
Right. Okay. Well, I like long walks on the beach, ice cream, and men who aren't afraid to cry.
That's the opposite of vulnerability, what we just heard there. That's the opposite of vulnerability. All right, let's welcome Barbara here. Barbara is also in Illinois. We have two people from Illinois. Doesn't matter. Just, I like location. Her name is Barbara. She's very nice. And I'm going to stop talking. Barbara, whenever you're ready.
Okay, sure. I really miss the defunct Craigslist personal, at least reading them. I mean, where else can you keep a curious and amused eye on the sexual underbelly of your neighborhood? I did post a message, though, once on the Misconnection page. I had just served on a jury duty in Chicago, and one of the other juries I found very attractive. He was smart and good looking in the geeky sort of way that I like, and he seemed to reciprocate the attraction. Unfortunately, at the end of the trial, we didn't get any time to talk alone or exchange phone numbers. So I innocently put in an ad which simply read, "Peter, from jury duty on 4/13. I felt that we had made a personal connection and I would like to get to know you better. If you feel the same way, please respond to this ad. Barbara." Though I never heard back from Peter, I was besieged with lots of men responding with dick pics, many which came with helpful and graphic instructions on what they'd like me to do with them. I was disappointed and baffled. I mean, was Peter like Craigslist personal code for someone seeking anonymous close encounters of the penile kind? But one response in particular caught my eye, and not for the reason some of you might be thinking. Something about the D was just not right, so I zoomed in, and I noticed a barely visible thin little line at the base of it, which indicated he had photoshopped somebody else's larger D or a dildo onto his body, which is probably the ultimate catfishing on Craigslist personal, if you think about it. Though, personally, I try not to. Boom.
Thank you, Barbara. Woo!
Wow.
Didn't know we were going to get the dick pic in this, and I'm so glad we
Got in the first round. It's great.
in the first round, first section, we got a dick. Okay.
We got a dick pic story, which is great.
All right. Got good news for you, Mary.
You do?
You know what that news is?
I get to summarize everybody's stories?
You get to summarize everybody's story. I didn't tell the audience how this was going to go.
Oh.
Everybody who didn't get disqualified, which in this case is everybody, not only did you just recently hear the story, and you're thinking to yourself, ooh, I like this story or that story or whatever it may be. And I do encourage you to vote for the favorite stories, not necessarily your favorite storyteller, but I know how that goes too. But Mary's going to do a quick synopsis, and then we're going to have a poll, and you are going to vote for your favorite two stories. And there's directions right on the top of the poll that remind you to do that. Mary, whenever you are ready, I'm going to get the poll up so I can fill it in. Do what you do.
Thank you. Francesca was working on grief and the space in between when she was getting flashes of her husband who passed and the what ifs, but she realized it's never about us, it's about the people around us. Mark was thinking about proposing to his wife Jen, and he went to the Barbie aisle and got a really nice shiny ring, but she could exchange it for anyone that she wanted. Sharon decided to go outside of her religion to date and found out there could be some folks who are related to not so nice people out there. Tracey couldn't find her grandmother's wedding bands, but once she found it, or actually her hubby found it under the bed, she realized the move was not just moving out, but moving on. And Barbara, all I have to say is dick pics. Sorry,
Oh,
Barbara.
yeah, no, hey.
Photoshop dick pics. Yeah, yeah.
You're much better at summarizing than I am putting the right word, 2 or 3 words in the little poll we're going to run here.
Yeah.
So I did the best I could.
I'm sure you did great.
Now, so you all know, again, these are in the exact same order. You'll see them in the same order they told. You're going to pick your favorite 2 stories. You don't have to pick first or second. It's irrelevant. Just your top 2 stories.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to
Do it, Sean.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to launch it. And we're hoping here we go. It's going to work. Is it working? It's good. You all see that? Cool.
Yep.
Great. No rush. We want to get everyone voting. And I'm assuming, oh, there it is. Okay. Might have been a little delay. Great. If for whatever reason you can't see, please message me or Mary, because we want to make sure everyone has a chance to vote.
I don't know what untitled question is. This is Angela, my first time here.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. Just do the first one and doesn't matter.
You all see round 1, section 1, and then there's 5 names.
Yeah, and
But
then
it doesn't let you submit. If you check 2 people and you don't answer the second question, the submit doesn't.
Okay. I see what's happening. All right. We're good. We're good. Hang on.
Good.
I'm gonna end this right now. I made a mistake.
Okay.
And what's really cool is everyone here is so damn nice. You're very forgiving. I
So
love you.
that one and doing another one.
I'm going to do another one. I apologize. That's on me.
Oh, listen, sometimes you have to try and then adjust. And this group I know understands that.
Hang on. All right. Sorry, y'all. Hang on. Round 1. Let's try this again. Be patient, please. You know what? Maybe if you want to take a quick.
You should listen to Sean's podcast about folks that I'll do my little commercial about folks who have survived suicide stories. You can find that on Spotify or all your other podcasts. Also, you should join the group on Grit, which is on Facebook, which also talks about what Sean and other storytellers are doing. Very good group, very informative.
Jesus. Now, here's what we're going to do. If this doesn't work this time, so as to honor your time, what I want you to do is to send Mary your top 2 storytellers.
Well, we're going to try the poll first.
We're going to do that first, yes.
Yep. Don't send me anything yet, guys. Let's try the poll again.
After this, hopefully works. If it doesn't work, that's plan
Then
B.
we'll do it old school.
Yeah, and it's a little clunky, but it is what it is.
That's fine. I'll get it done. Don't worry.
Hang on.
We have all these stories.
Just so you all know, Zoom, you don't really care, so I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to anyway.
Go ahead.
Zoom makes updates. And when they do that, sometimes these things that we're used to change. You probably have dealt with them.
Mhm.
So that's what's happening right now.
That's true.
And we're going to cross our fingers and then we're going to deal with it as best we can. Here we go. I'm hoping that this only gives you the option to pick 2 and there's not that stuff between, but let me know. Hang on. Thank you for your patience. And
The tension's killing you, Mark. Oh gosh.
is that normal now?
That looks normal to me.
Thank you for waiting, y'all. Appreciate it.
Okay. And people are voting. Voting.
Yeah, now it looks normal.
And the voting's happening.
Okay, so remember, you're putting your top 2 favorite stories, not 1, not 3. That should allow you to do that. Let me know if not. Very interesting.
Yeah, it sure is.
Always interesting. Okay, we've got one more person that
One
can
more
go.
person.
Give it another like 10 seconds. It actually is not going to change the results.
No, it's not, but vote anyway.
Vote anyway. Get used to it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And thank you. Not one person left after my little debacle, which makes me feel good. Makes my heart warm. It doesn't make my heart warm because my heart doesn't really get warm, but it's less cold.
Oh, it's less cold. There you
Yeah.
go.
All right, I'm going to end this poll. Thank you all. That's that.
I got it.
We're not going to share the results just yet. We're going to wait as long as we can and milk this baby.
Well, that's what people come for, Sean, is the show, really.
Yeah. Well, they come for you mostly.
Well, and I don't think that's true, but thank you for that.
5 more names. Section 2 of round 1. This is going to be the order.
Do it.
And we're going to give you about a minute between, and Mary and I are going to shoot the shit and ask the audience one more brief question so that our tellers can prepare. In this order, here we go. It's going to be Chetter, Neshama. I'm saying the names because I realize with my blurry background, you might not see it very clearly. Harold, Walt, and finally, MJ. Once again, that is Chetter, Neshama, Harold, Walt, and MJ. Mary, would you please engage this lovely audience with a simple question? I'm putting you on the spot a lot tonight.
Sure, I know.
Simple, easy stuff. They can answer or not, and then we'll move on to section 2.
Okay. I
What
want to
do
know
you
about your favorite band.
You got to say that without your pen in your mouth. Come on,
I
dear.
know, darling. Who is your
What's it-
favorite band?
Oh, favorite band. That's a really good question.
I thought so also.
Okay. I love your humility.
Well, I'm a queen.
Your favorite band, if you have 3 favorites, just choose one.
Yeah. Oh, Zevon, yeah. Ooh, yes, the Beatles. I like the Beatles too.
Yeah.
The Chicks, formerly the Dixie Chicks, yeah. Queen's fabulous. Tin Hat. These are some great bands, guys.
Yeah.
Stones, yeah. I've seen the Stones at Fenway Park. They were pretty great. Yeah, I've also seen Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett at Fenway Park. So for those of you who know our baseball field. Cream, there you go, Munchkin. Eagles, look at you guys, Moody Blues. Wow. Anthrax. Michael, I like the Anthrax Public Enemy song. Bring the Noise. It was great. YouTube was fabulous. Ooh, did you sneeze, Sean? Bless you, sir.
I was supposed to mute myself. I failed.
It's all right.
This is turning into one of those virtual events that I used to hate going to. You know those?
I've heard about that. Oh, wait a
You know
minute.
what I mean? Like it just was like, not because of you. This is where I dig a big old hole. Not because of our great audience or tellers. It's like when the host, like me in this case, hang on, I have sneezes. 1 sec.
Here we go. Ooh, bless
And
you.
doesn't mute himself again. Are you
It's okay.
kidding?
If you're trying to do double duty, it's a thing. It's all right.
All right. I'm just making sure I'm getting this poll down. We're going to save it and we're going to get going right now.
Just so tight.
Thank you all very much. I'm going to get this started.
All right.
Mr. Chetter, we're going to find him and he's unmuted and he's going to start soon. There he is. Chetter, sir, in the state of peaches, break a leg.
When I was 18, I thought I had my life all figured out for the great American dream. You see, I'd gotten accepted into an architecture program at Virginia Tech and even had a scholarship. And even though this young lady didn't realize it at the time, in my mind, she was going to be my sweetheart. We were going to get married, have children, and start my own architectural firm. Well, as you know, life happens. And about a month into me being an architect major, I realized I could not stand it and had made a huge mistake. So after my freshman year, I changed majors and went into math. Talk about swapping the devil for the witch, because for the next 2 years, I saw my grades decline and my GPA drop below freezing temperatures. Well, finally, I chose history as my next major, which was a better fit for me. And after 5 years, 3 majors, and a 2-point-something grade average, I walked across the stage and got my degree. But the jobs for a history major were few and far in between. And that American dream I was telling you about turned more into a nightmare. Because for the next 2 years, I found myself at home living with my parents in my old bedroom. Until one day, my dad gave me an ultimatum and said, Chetter, you've been here long enough. It's time for you to get out on your own. I want you out of my house in 30 days, if not sooner. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Chetter. Chetter lives in the Atlanta area. I'm not giving you his address. Okay, it's not how we roll here. It's not that kind of show, people.
Oh, it's not like the back of a Craigslist, you know, or actually, what was it? Oh, there was a newspaper in Boston that used to have ads in the back of the news.
Now-
They were seedy. Anyway,
I'm not going to tell him your address either, Mary.
The Phoenix. Everybody remembers the Phoenix.
The Phoenix. Thank you.
However, the Phoenix, yeah.
The Phoenix.
What I am going to tell you is 113B Forsyth Drive, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27517 is mine. You can come by anytime you want. Just visit me. I'm lonely. Seriously, I'm not joking. Okay.
Are you going to pull out your best?
Trust me. If you, wait, what?
You're going to pull out your best box gas station wine?
No, I'm going to give you some cheap bourbon. And I'm probably out of this very glass. I share. I don't believe in, I'm a simple man.
I don't know about that.
No, no. Well, let me not, what I mean by that is near impoverished. It's not the same thing. Okay.
It's not.
Patience, thank you for being very patient while I gab about things really no one wants to hear. Next up is Mr. Harold Cox in the Boston area. Harold's a fine gentleman. And when you're ready, sir, unmute and tell us your story.
Okay. It was a brilliant idea. At least I thought so. I was going to make a time-lapse photography video of me losing weight. So every morning, right after breakfast, I made 4 photographs, the first to the front, and then one to the right, and then to the right, and to the right. And you put these all together, what you would do is see me turning around in a 360-degree turn, kind of like a rotisserie chicken. Well, I had a whole bunch of these pictures, and then on one occasion, I had to go to Chicago to give a presentation. I gave the audio-visual aid technician my flash drive so that he could load up my PowerPoint. Well, he made a mistake, and instead of putting up the presentation I had spent so much time trying to prepare, he actually put up a picture of me. I was facing front, arms stretched out, legs stretched out, naked. I screamed, please take that down, please take that down. He pressed a button and the rotation started of me turning 360 degrees. I was completely annoyed that he couldn't take this down fast enough, so I pulled all of his electrical cords out of the socket so that I could stop this rotisserie of shame. I'm never going to do this again. There are just some things that just don't need to be recorded. Boom.
Thank you, Harold. And Harold, thank you for adjusting for another slight blip. That's number 3 tonight. I've hit my quota.
I think you hit it.
Exactly. All right. You know what I mean?
All right.
Finally, everyone out there knows I'm human. It took a long time. I know. Thank you, Harold. It was actually supposed to be Neshama and then Harold. It's going to be Harold and now Neshama. Doesn't really make a difference. So thank you for being working with that. Harold, as always,
Ready.
he adjusted, took his time and did what he had to do. Appreciate it. Yes, Queen, did you have your hand up? Now is the time.
No, I was just gesturing like that. That's all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my hand up. I just start talking.
Yeah, I got you. You don't have to put your hand up. You're not asking permission.
No. No.
All right, now going out to California, we're going to find Ms. Neshama Franklin. patient as always, spotlighted, and when she's ready, she will tell us a story.
When I first met John, he was living in a rooming house with a malevolent landlady who always wore a kind of shredded house dress, and her nipples stuck out like old erasers. It was hideous. And I knew we had to move because we were going to move in together. And we found what seemed like the perfect place, a studio in a brownstone, a 10-minute walk from where we both worked. We discovered some eccentricities early on. I mean, there was the Miss Passmore. I never laid eyes on her, but there were lots of heavy footsteps, obviously men, up and down her stairs, all hours of day and night. And then there was the guy who lived right above the entrance, and he liked to throw open his window and bare-chested crow like a rooster at all time of day and night. But the worst was our immediate neighbor. We shared a bathroom. She was Middle Eastern. She looked haunted. And perhaps it was the fact that in our wonderful studio apartment, there was a Murphy bed that we never folded up because we spent a lot of time bouncing on it. And in any case, she was a disturbed person with a Balkan accent. And the day that she took her very own shit and smeared it along the corridor that we shared, we knew we had to move. That poor woman, I don't know what she was going through, but we found a better place. You should know that I still, in every place I've ever lived, have a bed right in the middle of the living room. Thank you.
Whoops.
I was trying to stop the spotlight and you had done it before me. And so I hit the recording. We're back. We're fine.
Woo!
Yes.
Me and Mary are usually just fire. We got these, but it's good.
It's fine.
We take these little moments, and you know what? Then they get to see us, like I said earlier, not as these heroes, not as these untouchables, not as these people who have no flaws. Our audience, can relate to us like they are, kind of just normal people. You know what I'm saying? Like just normal, boring. They make mistakes too. We're just like you mostly.
It's true. Stop rubbing off on me, Sean.
Right. Look, we had 10 storytellers. We're going to get 5 that are going to go through. Like I said, this isn't a particularly long event. You're all invited to hang out with us afterwards. We talk if you want. But we're rolling through. So that's 3 of 5. We've got 2 more. I've got the order correct. Next up, live from, I was going to say the great state of Florida, but the word's kind of not, we're not so sure what the fuck is going down there where we are. Please welcome Walt. Walt, break a leg.
Well, I grew up watching Westerns in the 1950s, and I loved Roy Rogers and the Lone Ranger and their horses, Trigger and Silver, a speed of light, a cloud of dust. And I could see myself in the saddle, the wind in my hair, whirling a lasso or a pistol. And we lived in the city, and I begged my father to take me to the country where I could ride a horse. He told me that horses were dangerous. The ones on TV were trained, and real life horses might throw you. I kept begging him until finally he said he'd let me ride one in a place where you could rent horses. And this horse was beautiful. It was chestnut. Its name was Champ. It had a golden mane and a tail. And I got on in the saddle, and I braced myself. Easy, Champ, easy. He was motionless. And I took up the reins, and he took off. And I was going left and right. He was bouncing. I said, how do I stop this thing? This is not what I want. I yelled, stop, stop. And then I remembered, whoa. He slammed to a stop. I'd come back where I started. And when my father came up, he said, how'd you like that, boy? More than you thought, huh? Come on down, boy. I said, no, Dad, no, I loved it. I'd like to ride again. I want to ride again. Put in another quarter. Boom.
Thank you, Walt. We won't get political. We're not talking about your state. All states have good things and not so good things. Let's leave it at that. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of our tellers. Again, I know if you keep thanking people, it sort of gets diluted, but no. Okay. No. How's that? I can thank them all I want. And our audience. Thank you very much.
Fabulous.
Final storyteller.
Yes.
I said I wasn't going to get political, but her state also kind of sucks. But she's cool. Her name is Mary Jo. And Mary Jo, I'm sorry they said that about your state. Let me spotlight you.
Yeah.
She seems pissed at me already. Look at that. Use it. Use the anger against me and tell a great story. Break a leg.
Not part of my story, but Tucson is blue. I never wanted kids. I never had kids. Even when I was a little girl, I knew that I never wanted children. And I also never played with dolls. And I thought that there was a parallel there about little girls who didn't like to play with dolls and not having children. And I queried a number of people as an adult and who didn't have children, and they didn't play with dolls either. But people always gave me dolls because people give little girls dolls. And when I was a toddler, I did have one doll that I loved, my Sleepy Baby doll. It was this blue fuzzy material, and it had a little round plastic face, and the eyes were painted shut. And what scared me about the dolls that I got as presents were their eyes. There were these scary, non-human looking eyes, and they just made me cry. And every time I got a doll, my mom just took it away from me. My mom was a neatnik. Every cupboard and cabinet was organized and neat and everything in its place. And I toddled around with Sleepy Baby, and I was curious, and I like to investigate things around the house. But every time I opened a cabinet or a cupboard or a drawer that my mother didn't want me in, there was one of those scary dolls. Fuck you, Mom.
Thank you, Mary Jo. There are some words that are better than boom.
It's true.
There are some words that just land just as good, if not better than boom.
It's true.
There is good news and no bad news. And the good news, once again, because it's always hard to disqualify people. I mean, who am I after all? Talk about imposter syndrome. But no, all of these people are at or under the 99 mark. So that means I'm going to pull up the poll, which you will not see yet. Mary will summarize. I will fill it in. And then we will launch it. And I'm going to manifest it will be successful. Whenever you're ready, Mary.
Will be, yes. So Chetter was pursuing the, oh.
Hang on.
Did you?
A third group, yes. Because I know Al and Angela wants to tell. I don't know.
What's that?
You
Hang
can-
on. If there's other tellers, I didn't get that information and it's too late. Sorry. Next time. I apologize. I didn't get it in time.
Oh, so we won't be telling if we signed up like 10 minutes before. This is Angela. We won't be telling if we signed up like 10 minutes before you started.
I guess.
This is an interesting quandary I find myself in.
Well, it's okay if you don't have the time. I'd never even heard of you until 10 minutes before. Oh, I haven't. We were in another swap and someone mentioned.
Yeah. So I think the best thing to do is I'll own that. I apologize. It's hard to get you in now. So I'll comp you, of course, next time. Come and use the same stories, and you could badmouth me all over social media.
Never.
That's acceptable.
Forget about it.
Okay. Thank you for being open and flexible.
But I do want to offer a little tip, of which I was raising my hand for later. Please. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Sorry to you both. Queen Mary, please summarize.
Okay. So Chetter was pursuing the American dream, but after changing his major 3 times and finding out history majors don't have a lot of jobs at their fingertips, let's add a little insult to injury when Dad said he had to move out in 30 days. Neshama, the story about the brownstone and the woman that was smearing shit on the wall, the best thing about that was that she's had a bed in every living room that she's lived in. Harold, I will just say 3 words: rotisserie of shame. Walt got to ride a horse with his dad, but it was the one that takes quarters, though eventually, as he put in the chat, he did get a horse to ride. And MJ, those creepy dolls were all over the place. And even though mom was trying to help, MJ still found them. So it's a little bit.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna need your help here, Mary. Give me 2 words for Chetters and let's go down the line.
History major.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Harold, don't do rotisserie. You know I can't spell.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Flash drive, time lapse photo, something
Flash
like that.
drive. Great. They just heard it. It's fine. Neshama's bedroom. Beds everywhere. How's that?
Neshama, beds everywhere.
Beds everywhere.
Neshama's like, fine with me.
I'm just gonna call Walt's the horse and MJ's the doll. Done.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Section 2. We're gonna save it. We're gonna launch it. You're gonna vote. Thank you.
Yeah, flash drive, Mark. That was a good one. All right,
Please
polls up. Polls up.
All right, cool.
It's only allowing us to vote for one, or at
Exactly.
least
It's
me.
not a double. It's
Oh,
not a
this
double
one's not
poll.
a double?
No,
Well,
it's
it should be,
usually
but the
double.
poll is wrong.
Is it only allowing you to vote for one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess what we're doing?
We're
Yeah, it's only allowing one.
It's okay. It's
We're
okay.
voting for one or
In
two.
the old days, we'd just be with the blackboard and you'd just be erasing and writing it again.
I know.
It went away before I could submit it.
Don't worry, y'all. Here's what we're doing. This is the official slam of many gaffes. So embrace it. I'm just gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it right, and Mary's gonna kill like 90 seconds because she's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have the grit group.
Probably don't need 90s.
We don't need what?
Don't promote my stuff. You're gonna promote your
Oh,
stuff.
I was just being a troll, sorry.
Oh, okay. My stuff. Well, you can find me at marydalba.com. I'm going to be on Jeff Stein's Clubhouse on yes, tonight, Thursday night, the 30th, telling a story. It's on Clubhouse at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Go
So if
you.
you'd like to hear me tell a story, I'm happy to.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if you want to find out about any of my spiritual services, marydalba.com. My name without the apostrophe.com. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Oh, do you want me to put a link in the chat? Is that it? Oh yeah. I mean, it's like a 99-second. You have 99 seconds, Sean, to fix the poll.
I know. Well, that's great. And Harold was flash drive, correct?
Flash drive, yeah. Though the rotisserie shame was very funny. Very, very funny.
I would like to say that I had a reading by Mary and she's very good.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, MJ. Thank you.
I'm calling this section 2.2. We are launching it, and this shit better work.
It's gonna work. It's gonna
Better
work.
work.
Multiple choice. All right.
Does it work?
Tell us, tell us.
Pick your favorite 2 stories, just to be clear. 2 stories, 2 stories. Oh, this is close. Hope everyone votes. Wow. All right, all right. Ooh. Okay. We got 2 more people that could vote.
Yeah, and this could actually make a difference, guys. So please
Yeah,
vote. Yep.
We'll give it another like 10 or so seconds.
Okay.
All right, let's close it out. Let me make sure I got it right.
Wait, hold on. Don't do anything yet. I'm writing them down. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you got it. All right, so let's do this. It is now 8:56 at 9 p.m. Either me or Mary, or maybe at the exact same time, I'm going to tell you who's going, the 5 tellers going through. But we're not going to give you the tellers won't know in advance like I did earlier, just one at a time. You're going to go on and tell your stories. Then we'll have one more vote. And that poll is going to be crystal clean and perfect.
Amazing. We've
So
had
we
some
have, like,
practice.
you would think. So now we have like 3.5 minutes. Go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do some cartwheels, belly dance.
Oh, you just want to have an excuse to belly dance. Stop it.
I do. So it's going to be like 3 minutes of sort of quiet downtime, but just come back because at 9 sharp, we're announcing the names. In the meantime,
yes.
Who was this woman who wanted to yell at me?
Who's
Now's the time, unless you want to wait till after, you could do it then too.
I just have a chat conundrum. I seem to be stuck in direct message, and I want to be able to. So I keep clicking on. I don't know what to do. So how do I get to everyone?
Well, there might be some sort of bug, but when you hit, do you see the little arrow where we would click the blue?
The
chat. Right. So where it says type message, just above it, you'll see 2 TO : and next to it like blue.
But I don't see blue. I just see red direct. Who
Huh.
can see your message? Shall I click on that? Oh no,
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
Neshama, to the
Yeah.
left word direct. What is direct in between the word to and the words direct message?
Well, that's the problem. I don't see two. It just direct is snuggled right up against the red margin. So I don't have no two.
It might be, yeah.
So I'll just say hello to Angela and I say how much I loved everybody's stories. Those are my two for everyone.
I think if you click on direct, it'll give you the lineup of.
I've been clicking, let me tell you, I've been clicking like a mad fiend and it doesn't work. So, but
it might be something, Neshama, okay, things are going off the rails. Zoom does make some updates. There's almost definitely a way to do it, but it might be a different way, hence the polling issue I'm having. So we'll figure it out, but it might not be, it might have changed. It might have actually changed.
You can also try and make that whole column bigger by mouse.
That might be it.
She can also just click, do you see where it says like Sean Wellington to everyone?
Yes.
I think if you click the everyone, it'll just change your box to everyone.
Oh, that is true.
I think it may have worked. It doesn't say everyone, but I'm going to type. Oh man, I love mutual help. Okay.
Yes, teamwork.
We have got 1 more minute. So if you can hear me, but you're not in front of your laptop and you want to see, or your desktop, and you want to see the rest of this, please come back soon. You can still use the chat if you have questions.
And hello to anyone I didn't say hello to.
Oh, yay, it worked.
It worked. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hang on, y'all. We may have a little bit shocking a change. This is the night. All that's coming to tonight. So that's great. So we got to work out one thing. So it'll be like another minute. We just want to confirm.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we have confirmation on that, Mary, or no?
Yeah, it's pretty much no. So
It can't be.
yeah. So
that's cool.
Okay, hold on.
Just check the messenger and we'll figure it out. And we'll be announcing that in like 30 seconds.
Okay, yep. Then what you wrote. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. This is the night. Okay, so let's announce the 5 people. One of the people who was going to go through had to step away, which means there's an extra space, which we filled. And yeah, now we're not going to tell you how you got through or any order or anything like that. We're just going to say 5 names. And then I'm going to mix them up and we're going to reveal them one at a time. And they're going to tell their second story and then you're going to vote, and we're going to be done, and then we can hang out if you want to. Mary, I've
Yes.
got the 5 names here. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know why I'm mixing it up just yet because I just want to tell. Actually, here we go. Mary Jo Pollack, Chetter G, Walt B, Sharon E, Francesca S. Why am I doing the first initial? What are
You just, that's what's happening tonight. We're just doing things a little different.
we really are?
We really are.
We
Yeah.
really are. All right, I want you to say stop. This will just be the sort of the order. Just I need you to say stop, Mary. Here we go.
Okay. Stop.
Done.
Thank you.
The first storyteller of round 2 in season 7, slam 3 of the 99-second story slam is, oh, what a shocker, Francesca. She's thrilled again. She's a game player. It's all good. I'm gonna spotlight her. I think everyone's back, so we gave them enough time. I'm gonna spotlight you. Take your time, Francesca. Break a leg.
Francesca Gregory Schmartz. Why do parents always yell your name when you're in trouble? It is my stepfather yelling. I can feel the heat of his wrath rising. Francesca Gregory Schmartz. My body freezes. My head pivots. I'm looking for a place to hide under the bed, in the closet, my sister's closet. I spin. The doors to my sister's open a crack. We look at each other, our eyes darting back and forth. I'm racking my brain. I raked the backyard. I didn't skip school. I did the dishes, didn't I? Francesca Gregory Schmartz. I'm sure I felt the house foundation shift. I know from experience that he's going to take the stairs 2 at a time. My heart is pounding faster as his footsteps near. Suddenly, a bolt of light shoots through me. Years later, I'll realize it is my future self stepping in. I take on her bravado and I go to the foot of the stairs. And just as my stepfather reaches the top, he's like a bull ready to charge, his hand up, ready to come down, and I grab his hand. And I say in a reasoned voice I did not know I had, you touch me, you lay one finger on me, and I will call the police and have you arrested. He never touched me or my sisters again. Boom.
Mm-hmm. She ended it with a boom, Queen Mary.
She did. She did.
We had somebody else end it with a fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got options. You got choices as a storyteller, right? As an artist, you have choices. Okay.
It's right. When you come here to the 99-second slam, be yourself.
Mm.
Mm.
Be
With
vulnerable. Be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable. A little bit of an overused word these days, I think. But okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We have 4 more storytellers. Do want to let you know next Sunday night, there's another event called the Mental Health Happy Hour. Some of you have been there. Nice little open mic. If you have a mental health centered story, you get 7 minutes. Come, I'll put the link in this chat in a little bit. Check the chat because people are mostly kind. Once in a while, you see a little passive aggressive chat sneak in there, but by and large, they're all really nice. Okay, next up we have Mary Jo Pollack. Mary Jo, I'm going to find you. I'm going to spotlight you. You're going to unmute. And you're going to break your legs or a leg. Ready? Cool.
I'm 8 years old and I'm sitting in the window of a toy store downtown St. Paul a week before Christmas with my best friend, Randy. Her aunt and uncle own the store and they have hired us to play in the window to attract customers. And our payment is we get to pick out anything we want in the store. I'm really excited. Now, what we have to play with is this popular Betsy Wetsy doll. And I don't really like dolls. I prefer games and puzzles, but I get to pick out anything I want in the store, so I'm going to do it. And Betsy Wetsy had a little hole in her mouth, and you have this little baby bottle that you filled with water, and you stuck it in her mouth, and then the water went through her, and then you had to change her diaper. And I thought that was disgusting. And it was only water. And I decided right then and there that I was never going to change a diaper. I knew that I didn't want to have children, but I would never change a diaper. And I haven't. Although in a few years, I anticipate I might have to change my own.
I'm assuming your story's over. Clearly it is. There's no boom necessary. Well done, Mary Jo. Well done. Queen, not all stories need a boom. Or fuck you.
They don't. They don't.
They am when they am. They am when they am.
And exactly.
What a way to start our round two. Wow.
I know.
2 very good stories. I'm sure 3 more to come.
Yes.
Masterclass in the 99.
Angela just asked, is boom is a traditional ending? Yes, it can be. Yes, Angela.
Angela's the one that doesn't like me. We'll talk about that, Angela, afterwards. It's okay.
And as Elena Beth said, yes, not necessary. That is also true.
No, of course not.
No. We just want you to let us know it's over.
Mary said, be you. That's all you need.
You. Exactly.
Next up is wait, what? Before
I said within reason.
Yeah, right. I mean, sure. Chetter's up. Who's better than Chetter? Galloway is up. Let me spotlight him. Chetter, when you're ready, break a leg, sir.
In November 2002, I was in a great place with my finances. You see, after 6 long years, I had finally finished paying off my Nissan 200 SX. But of course, no sooner than I did that, here comes car trouble. And mine was twofold. There was a mysterious oil leak, and I had issues with the brakes. Now, at that time, I had recently gotten the brakes fixed, and I was on my way to work to do some overtime to pay for them. And I was driving along a stretch of road in Atlanta known as the Downtown Connector, when I saw brake lights, a procession of them in front of me. So I tapped my brakes and thought to myself as I was slowing down, wow, the guys did a great job. Well, no sooner than that thought crossed my mind did I hear the screeching of brakes behind me, followed by a bam, and me being rear-ended by a fully armored tank posing as a 1980 Cadillac sedan DeVille. The car hit me so hard that it spun me completely around, and I wound up in this triangular median facing oncoming traffic. Now, the Cadillac went careening across 3 or 4 lanes, and with each preceding lane it crossed, it took bits and pieces of the back end of my car. Well, fortunately, no other vehicles were involved, no one was hurt, and there were no fatalities. Well, not unless you include my car, which was totaled for the kind sum of $3,000, which meant I was back to having to make car payments all over again. Boom.
Boom to the boom, boom. Thank you, Chetter. Tell you what, Queen. Wouldn't want to be the audience that has to vote.
I know.
It's going to be a tough call.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be tight.
It's going to be tight because we have amazing storytellers. So
sometimes I wish everyone could win.
No.
When I say that, I don't mean it, by the way.
I know
not one
you.
word of it. Not one word of it.
No, we all know.
How I feel at all.
We all know. It's all right.
We are making really good time. And you know what? Sometimes less is more. Let's continue. Next up is Walt B. in the Sunshine State. Walt, whenever you're ready, tell her 4 of 5, break a leg.
Okay. Years ago, when I was a newspaper reporter, I interviewed this old guy named Carl Allen. Now, he ran an authentic old Florida diner where he served armadillo, gator, turtle, and rattlesnake, among other things. Some people joke that Carl should call it the Roadkill Cafe. They didn't say that to his face. I went over to watch Carl prep a 6-foot-long rattler. Now, he paid people to bring in these rattlers live, and he kept a box of them in the kitchen. Now, he put that big old thing up there on the table, and he whacked the head off, and it fell on the floor, and he stomped it with his boot to make sure it was dead. He said dead rattlers can still bite you, and a lot of people died from being bit by a dead rattler. Well, he skinned that booger and cut up the white meat up into chunks. And I said, what does that taste like, Carl? Well, I'll tell you a secret, boy. It tastes mostly like my mother's cornmeal and pepper batter, which I put on everything I cook here. He grinned. I could cook up your tie. I could dip it in that batter and fry it, and you'd like it. It'd taste like this rattler. I was tempted to let him try. Boom.
Thank you, Walt. It's interesting, Mary. Sometimes I just say thank you, but sometimes I say it, I try to sing, which I can't do.
I thought that, it was a flourish. You did.
Thank you. We got one more storyteller left. She knows who she is. Her name is Sharon Eisner. Sharon is in North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina. That's all. Sharon, whenever you're ready, you are going to close slam number 3 of season 7 out. And everybody stayed, by the way, which I love. Everybody stayed, so we get all the voters. Sharon's unmuted. I'm going to spotlight her. Break a leg.
My dog Chiffy loves the ocean. He loves to swim in the ocean ever since I got him when he was 3 months old. So a couple years ago, when my friend Tree and I went to Oak Island, he was the happiest of the 3 of us. We went Friday to Sunday, and Friday he's out swimming in the waves, fetching a ball and a stick, swimming circles around me. He was trying to eat the waves. He was having such a good time. Saturday, he was just jumping like a little puppy. He was having such a good time. But Sunday, we get out at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he won't go in the water. And not only will he not go in the water, he's pacing at the water's edge, clearly anxious, and he's whining, and he's barking at me when I go in. And finally, he jumps in, comes over to me, swims over to me, grabs me by my t-shirt, and drags me out of the ocean. And then he goes back in, grabs Tree by her bikini bottom, like the Coppertone dog, and drags her out of the ocean. And we're just like, what is wrong with you? And he's not happy until both of us are not swimming. We're just sitting on the sand. I'm like, what the hell, Chippy? Anyway, we cut our day short. We were supposed to leave at the end of the day, but we couldn't swim because he was freaking out. So we get in the car, we go back home. About 2:15, we hear on the radio, shark attack on Oak Island, right where we were. In the shallow water, a boy gets his arm bitten off. And then 15 minutes later, second shark attack, different shark, Oak Island, a girl gets her leg bitten. And the scientists say there was some kind of perfect storm for sharks at Oak Island, at the beach we're on. And Chiffy saved my life that day. I never go to the beach without him.
Thanks, Sharon. Well done, everyone. Beautiful stories. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
15 stories by 10 storytellers. All of our second rounders. And it was really, they barely got under the time, but they did.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. So, are you ready?
I believe so.
Now, what's going to happen here is you're going to vote, and it's actually the same thing, top 2. It's not actually rank choice, I don't believe, but it does allow, sometimes people will invite some people and they win because it's a popularity. It's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes it a little fair, or someone smarter than me told me. Let me open the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not very bright.
No. Well, you are bright. Stop it. Do you want me to summarize?
I do, and I'm not going to announce the winner until after we talk to the tellers and they tell us what they're doing in their lives, especially with story stuff. But please summarize. Yes.
You got it. Francesca found her future self and stopped her stepfather from ever hurting her or her sisters again. MJ has not changed a diaper because Betsy Wetsy didn't thrill her. But you know, she said she may be changing diapers later. Chetter paid off his Nissan 200 SX, right, Chetter? And got into an accident pretty soon after, and the car was totaled, and he was back to having a car payment. Walt watched someone cook up a rattler and had a snake that was dipped in some of the best stuff in a restaurant. It just grossed me out. Sorry. Sorry. And Sharon's dog, is it Jiffy or Chiffy?
Jiffy.
Chiffy with a CH, short for mischief.
I just wanted to say, I wanted to make sure I got it right. Chiffy saved her life by saving her and her friend Tree from a shark attack. Good boy. Who's the best boy? Right.
What are the two or three words that we're using for Chetter?
Car totaled. Car totaled.
All right, that's cool. All right, so just to be clear, we're gonna launch this last poll.
Yep.
You're gonna pick your top two. Francesca, Mary Jo, Chetter, Walt, and Sharon will launch it now. I hope all 32 of you can vote. Here we go.
So excited. Did you launch the poll?
Oh, do not do this shit to me. Yeah, I did. Here we go.
I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
Again.
Man.
Here we are.
So glitchy.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we triumphants. We were triumphant.
We do what we can do.
You.
Woo, it's gonna be real close.
I
think, oof.
No, it's still.
Hang on. We got 4 more people that can go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give it another 10 or 15 seconds. All right, let's close it up.
La 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 la.
I think so.
We're going to close it up. We're not going to make any announcement yet. Thank you for the background music. And before we announce the winner, we are going to, I know a lot of you were expecting, this wasn't in the event description, not a lot of you, some of you were expecting me at this point to belly dance, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I have had a change of mind.
Oh.
Might do that in the next slam.
All right.
So instead of that, what I thought we could do is ask the storytellers, all 10 of them, if they're here. I think 1 or 2 might have had to leave. What they're doing in the storytelling world. Maybe they're teaching a class, producing an event, going to some big show. Who knows? Unmute if that's you, or put your hand up a little bit easier, and then I'll call on you and we'll unmute you and you'll just tell us and we can support you if we can. And then we'll do everybody else after we're done. If you want to hang out and talk, that's great too. Storytellers, you want to share what's going on with you? I don't see anybody's hands up. God, you're boring. Here we go. Walt, yeah, I don't have to spotlight. You can just talk. You're good.
I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods. I'm going to the North Georgia Storytelling Festival and the South Carolina Stone Soup Festival. And in between, I'm at the John Campbell Folk Center in Brasstown. I used to have an accent, but I've been living in Florida a long time.
Walt, you still have an accent.
I have one.
Georgia, it's a cool, it might be different accent.
Yeah.
And it's a great accent.
It gets thicker as I get up there. When I get up in,
There's a good joke there. I'm going to refrain. Mary Jo.
I don't have anything coming up right away, but I'm producing a couple local shows and going to be in a couple local shows, but they're not immediate. So,
okay. When the time comes,
I'll let everybody know.
Tracey Starin's got her hand up.
For those in the New York City area, Ron, Olivia, and I are having our 1-year anniversary show on Tuesday at the Pine Box Rock Shop in Brooklyn. And we have an amazing lineup of all-star storytellers, plus open mic spots.
Nice.
There will be snacks.
I think Mark's clapping. He doesn't have an announcement. I do see Chetter's hands up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, on April 8th, my storytelling organization, Kaumba Storytellers of Georgia, will be having a personal storytelling workshop live on Zoom from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll drop the link in the chat. It's $20 fee.
Michael Locke, hang on, Michael, not for non-storytellers, not yet. Michael wins a slam. He won a slam. He just thinks he can do whatever he wants. No, Meg, for now, it's just the tellers, but I promise to get to you, Michael, after we announce the winner. Francesca?
I am actually getting ready to go back to Bloomington for a little bit. I'm directing a play there that'll open in May for the Jewish Theater of Bloomington. But I was just going to say to Tracey, I go to Brooklyn not infrequently. I have a grandchild there now, so I'll keep that in mind my next drop by.
The last Tuesday of every month, we're there at 8:30 p.m. at the Pine Box. Please come by if you're in town. We'd love to have you.
All right, thank you.
Neshama's got her hand up, Sean.
Yes, ma'am. Neshama.
Well, I haven't signed up yet, but I hope there'll be a slot for those wonderful 6 feet apart people. They're doing a slam April 11th, Off the Rails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Check the show notes. And by the way, in the chat, if there's anything here you want, it's probably best to just like cut or click on it, because once the event here ends, this probably, I don't know if it disappears, but I'm not going to download all the, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, you should just grab
what you got.
grab what you want. Yeah.
We are going to announce the winner right now, unless there's anybody else who has something to say. And then everybody else, of course, hang out, announce stuff, yell at me. I'm cool with that. I love it. I like public shaming. I mean, when it comes to me, I don't do it outwards. It's weird. It's parent issues. I don't want to fucking talk about it. We're going to do something different. We are going to actually announce the top 3 in reverse order. We've never done it this way before. We always try to do like one new thing each slam, just mix it up a little bit.
Thanks.
So what do you think of that, Mary Queen?
I think it's wonderful.
Okay. I'm going to do number 3. And do you know who the second place winner is? Second place? You write that down? I got it. I got it. I thought we would just go back and forth, but to make it easier, I'll just do it. Huh?
Just do it, love.
Feel like, oh, alpha, mansplaining asshole. We're good. Here we go. In third place, man, I'm hard on myself. It's all right. I'm in therapy. Here we go. In third place, live from Tucson, Arizona, Mary Jo Pollack. Which means, by the way, you're going to the Grand Slam. In second place, live from somewhere in Illinois, Francesca Sobrer. Sobrer?
Sobrer.
No, I struggle with your last name. Say it again.
Sobrer.
Sobrer.
Okay.
I'll do better, Francesca. I'll do better. Going to the Grand Slam if you're available. And our winner in first place, I believe, is a first-time winner here at a slam. Live from North Carolina, Sharon Eisner. Give it up for Sharon, the winner of season 7, slam number 3. What's up? Well done, everyone.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thanks to my parents. Thanks to all of you.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, Chiffy.
And thanks, Chiffy.
Thank you to my amazing dog, Chiffy. And thank you, Sean and Mary, for everything you've done.
Okay. Mary, thank you. And listen, what we'll do now is we'll stop the recording and we will go off Facebook Live. And then we'll,
everybody, bye.
Yeah, bye, everyone, wherever you are. And let me go off Facebook Live first. And I'm going to stop the live stream and we're going to stop the recording. And then Michael and others, I would love to hear also what you're involved in. And if anyone wants to hang out, whether it's an announcement or just to say hi, that's totally cool. So